Hello and welcome to the Wordy Casual. Welcome back. Today we are doing...
Minecraft.
Actually, it's Satisfactory.
Never mind.
Alrighty then.
No.
So to keep things more interesting, I'm going to be avoiding doing long periods of static pictures while I'm talking, maybe throw up some call-outs, and maybe even head back to the era of Batman. Wham! Smash! Pow! Zoom! Okay, so maybe not. We'll think of something else, I guess. Back up on the tower again, and we have nothing really built out this way, just like before. But as we turn the corner here, we've moved. You can see where we've moved the infrastructure down, as we discussed in the last video. The concrete's been significantly expanded, as you can see here, off to the north. And then as we move over to the side, you can see that we've added the space elevator here, and we've moved the concrete all the way back to the mesa to support it. And I've seen this over and over again, but I still just love how this goes all the way up. More so when delivering the project parts. I'd honestly like it if CS tweaked this so that everything after the elevator's built was delivered via the elevator rather than the hub. The iron processing has also been moved below, and the container to the left is the ingots. Previous holes have been covered as needed for the refit, and we're continuing to work the concrete out. And moving over here, you see the manual power config and the temp processing setup. The temp copper smelting is gone, so we just have the biomass to solid fuel and the assembler to create the first project parts. As you might recall, those can't be done by hand. That was my more typical move, falling in and catching the ladder rather than backing off of it properly. So wandering over here to the manual power setup, you can see that there are actually 8 of these, which isn't as obvious from top. We're shooting for low consumption, so having 8 is for extra time rather than capacity. And there they are in their glorious wonder. Still all hand-fed, which we'll hopefully fix soon. Over here, the walls show us where the entrance to the lower area is. And our first lower area is the iron production. Both miners are routed to the bank of smelters, which are then collected and sent up to the first floor container. Note there's only the one smelter powered to keep power consumption low until we have sustainable power, and then we'll rig the rest of them up and increase the throughput, along with your expected upgrades for technology to speed up the belts and the miners. And now we're going to go ahead and bloop over here, and you can see the ore container that was here last time has been moved, and peeking through the hole you get a glimpse of the reworked area below. That's entered over here, a little bit wider area just because of the topography of what we were covering. And now you can see that the copper smelting uses a similar design as the iron with the addition of ore storage. And again, we have just one smelter powered, with the rest standing by waiting on power. We've also set up the merger here to bring in additional copper ore once production kicks up, and we've routed some more stuff over that way. And we've already expanded off towards that direction so we can push the foundation towards the lake. So we're going to bloop down towards the river so we can revisit our concrete setup. Just taking a quick peek at it, it's not significantly different. We're still storing the concrete up top. But what we have done is run in another limestone node, which is where that long strip of concrete comes from, or foundations come from. Run it into storage, pull it through a couple of processors. And then we've got the 2-tier storage, one below, one above. This over here was where I was just talking about that in the future we'll pull that over and possibly turn that into a coal base, since we've actually got the water source across the way here. So that actually would be a fairly good place to put coal burners. Now that I'm thinking about those trees in the distance, I think I forgot about something. Yes, I did forget that I needed biomass, and now it's fixed. This used to be a forest, and now it is not. So I'm actually on this arc because there was a power worm here. Of course, the fastest, funnest way is to jump in the water to get down. And as I'm running through here, you can see that I've wiped out to the river. Done quite a bit of harvesting here. And the other side of the river still has vegetation, so if needed, it's there. But just the leaves and wood in my inventory here are 6 to 7K of biomass. And clearing this much stuff took 2 separate runs. This video is from the second run, and I've pulled about 1,400 biomass, so just shy of 5K solid fuel. And this portion of the river's been pretty great, with the exception of spiders. There were several runners in here. The spiders were what made it a pain in the butt, especially in the underbrush, which is why this used to be a heavy forest, and now it's just plains, which makes it easier to kill spiders, too. First off, let's bloop over back to the hub, come over here to the mission computer and check it out, and you can see up here that tiers 3 and 4 are locked until we get that first project part delivery complete. Now, you might remember me mentioning when we did the overview that assembler over there is for doing the project parts, because we can't do those by hand. So that is exactly what that was for, and we have already completed the first 50 project parts we need to make that first delivery so that we can unlock tiers 3 and 4. We just need to trot on over, lock it, and launch that payload. And while we're here, notice the containers over there. Those containers are for holding the project parts. Going forward, once we have everything automated, then stuff will back up into those containers. Now, I wound up sticking the control center on the side over here, and it actually makes the input ports a little bit inconvenient. Seriously thinking about relocating this, and if you're not already aware, you can deconstruct even the space anchor in the hub and put them back if you need to. Here you can see we've got the equipment in, we're sealing it, and then I step back just because, yeah, I like the animation. It's good enough, smart enough, and doggone it, people like it. So this time I'm actually going to go ahead and finish sealing it up and head on over to launch. Send that, exit, stage right. It's time to leave the nest, little package. And then look up, because I absolutely love this thing taking off. Lights, sparks, action. Oof. Then I realized it's just standing there waiting for it to come back. That was cool, but it's gone. What was I doing again? Huh? What? So, now that that's launched off, we should have plenty of time to actually hop over, double check the next delivery, which unlocks tiers 5 and 6, and it is a lot of parts. 500 of the one I just sent, and quite a bit of the 2 new parts that'll come up in tiers 4 and 5. And then finally, it's back. Don't get to see that very often. There's only, I think, 3 launches at the moment. And a quick bloop back to the hub to look at our Tier 3 and Tier 4 options. Coal power, which gives us our pipeline, our water extractor, our coal generator, and all the supporting equipment so that we can actually have power that doesn't require us to throw stuff in it. Vehicular transport, that gives us our tractor, very important for a series that has a car lot in the name. The extra inventory slots are nice too. The steel production gives us our basic steel ingots, which also allows steel beams, important for Tier 3 belts. Steel pipe, and our second project part, the versatile framework. Tier 4 gives us our advanced steel, which gives us our Miners Mark II, big thing. The encased beams will be important for Tier 4 belts. Automated wiring is our third project part, and the heavy modular frames. Improved melee combat's important for our lovely Xeno Basher. The extra hand slot's also very nice. And our hyper tubes are absolutely the most fashionable and fastest way to get around. And our Logistics Mark III gives us our brand new to the game batteries, which would be nice to have. Our expanded storage containers, our long awaited conveyor belts Mark III and our lift Mark III, and the stackable pipelines that will make managing our pipe much easier. And so popping back over to tier 3, we got coal power, which is the milestone we need for everything else. Here we're going to go ahead and head up to the hub. We've already got these populated with the exception of the rotors. So we'll throw those in to get the button and get the tastiest part, which is launching the rocket from the hub. Unlocking coal power.
And can be fully automated if provided water with the new pipeline buildings and power throughout the initial setup. Coal has been added.
While we're doing that, we're going to be leaving this vid here and work on the next section of the factory for the next video. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and click the bell so you don't miss that next episode that we put out for this series.
Bye. Thanks for watching.